I really enjoyed working with Kenneth with, and I think this is something that I hope you'll be able to also help many more clients.
Today we have Ken to share with us why he would like to use a mortgage broker for their mortgage loan as well. So Ken is actually an optometrist in profession. He runs his own business as well. His company name is EyeSight.SG. If you're looking for another new spectacles, you might want to check them out. So Ken, thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to share because Ken's journey was also a long planning before you actually purchase your properties. So maybe Ken, you want to share with us what was your experience when you engaged us, and how did the whole conversation started? Or I recall it was a few years ago. You're actually looking to do an upgrade of your property, and that's where we started off our conversation, and we connected through BNI, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, maybe you can share a bit more.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kenneth.
Yeah.
So it was a journey where I felt that I needed some advice on loans, right? Because
Okay.
I wanted to upgrade from a HDB to a condominium, but the quantum is kind of big lah. My wife and I, when we planned to buy our place, we wanted something a little bit bigger. So with that, I was not very confident that I was able to get the right amount from the loan, and I know that to be able to leverage certain knowledge of consultants like yourself, right, where you are able to, like what you always say in a BNI meeting, that we are able to save a lot of money just by finding the right consultant, to be able to connect you to the right bank and be able to give you the best interest. So that's why I remembered about what you said during one of those BNI meetings, and then I contacted you, and I'm really glad that you were able to help me with that.
Yeah, I think our BNI meeting was maybe about four or 5 years ago. Easily. And when we have our first conversation, we was planning. That was also about 4 or 5 years. But actually, from the day after we chat to the day you purchase, I think it's about 1 to 2 years down the road.
About that?
Yeah. So we kind of did the planning in advance. That means like back then Ken was looking to purchase a property maybe 4 or 5 years down the road. But as a self-employed, a lot of customers don't know that actually for self-employed, there are additional criteria the banks are looking at, that they actually take a higher haircut. If you recall, we was planning, you was asking me, why do I need, what is the income or haircut the banks require? So that's where we started planning about 1 to 2 years in advance before even you purchase your condo. Yeah. So what was your experience when you engaged us, from the initial meet-up to the time whereby you bought your condo?
It was a very different experience. Of course, when I spoke to some of the property agents, they also recommended me some broker. So I remember it was from one of those banks, but from the way they interact and from the kind of advice that he gave me, and when I met you, I know that you're going to be the right person. You're going to be the right person I want to work with, because I think just from asking the right questions and pertaining to what we can possibly do, right? Because like I said, early back then when I wanted to do the loan, because I was self-employed, I didn't really know how do I plan out in terms of is it haircut?
Haircut, yes.
Yeah,
haircut.
Yeah. So that was a really huge concern for me. When I asked that, I remember I heard that as a self-employed, there will be this rule, but when I spoke to you, you gave me the right advice, and then when I spoke to my accountant, she managed to plan it in such a way that it's easy for me to get, and it was totally hassle-free, right? You were very confident. You gave me the kind of you exude the kind of confidence that I know that I just have to trust Kenneth, and all things will just fall into place nicely. I think that's something that I really enjoyed working with Kenneth with, and I think this is something that I hope you'll be able to also help many more clients, because I remember sending 1 or 2 of my friends to come speak to you as well. So yeah, I think this is something that really gave me a huge confidence, and I told you that the next property, if I am aiming for it, it's going to be you again, man.
Thank you, Ken. So just now, what I hear from you is that you mentioned that you actually spoke with some agents and some brokers as well. But what was the trigger point you decided to engage us? So
I think the fact that they're only from one bank didn't really give me the confidence that there is that independence of different objective kind of a terrain, because you told me that you work with a lot of banks, and of course you had a really good established with some of these bankers as well, these officers. So when I heard that, it also gave me the confidence to say that I know I'm going to get the best deal, and of course after you tell me the rate, I go and check out also lah. But and it's really the best rate that anyone can offer. So when I checked with the so-called that particular banker, so it was the vibe lah, right? It was the way that you answer my questions, it's the way that you ask me for some of my documents and all that. I know that working with you is gonna be smooth.
So Ken, because we did the planning way before 1 to 2 years time before you purchase, but at the start I'm sure that we also meet some obstacles which I share with you. Do you recall some of the obstacles we was going through?
Yeah, I remember it was more like, because we are SME, right? So a lot of the payrolls and the pay slips were not prepared properly. It was very manual. So you said that you have to have it computerized. You have to get it gyroed. I remember you talk about like credit cards as well. I have to like cancel a lot of my credit cards. I have to call a bank to lower down the limits. But I guess these are things that if I've never engaged a consultant, I will never know along the way. And of course that helped me because like what you said, because we planned it 1-2 years ago. Before the purchase, so that's why we get all this organized, and I think this is really essential, I guess, because I mean having you to help me out, I know that even certain bankers or even agents, they won't be able to have the kind of a very tight follow through and a long term follow through, right? And of course, every time I needed help, you're just a phone call away, and then I think that helped a lot. Yeah.
How was our communication with you in between, like from the day after we met? I set up a group chat to the time you purchased.
Oh, it was smooth, man. I mean, my wife is one of those person who is very particular about working with the partners, and I think she's very, very happy with the way that you work, and of course your team is also a great help. So I guess all these will really lead up the way lah. So we say that happy wife, happy life lah. So if you can handle my wife, you can handle everyone, man.
I'm glad to hear all this from you. I think it's a long process. So if you are a business owner who are looking to buy a second property or your first property or upgrading, so planning has to be done in advance. So for Ken, we actually did planning about 3 to 4 years, and Ken bought the property about 2 years ago. And so all this require time to do planning. So if you are in the process of doing upgrading, you can reach out to us. We can actually start the planning way before you purchase your property, because your income portion has to be right. You need to do the proper income planning in order for you to achieve the loan amount of purchase price you are looking at later on. So Ken, I also heard you saying just now that you actually refer to a few of your friends. So why do you have so much trust in us that you would also like to refer your friend to us?
I guess it's the whole experience. It's really about having to find someone that can trust, and I know you for more than 4 or 5 years. It was back then, yeah. And I've always known you for a dear friend whom I know that I can totally just let you settle some of my things. And I think it was also because of your past experience, right? I mean, you worked in a bank before, you know how things works, and I think that is the reason why I know that if I were to hand my friends over to you, you are going to take care of them as well, just like how you take care of me. So there's no qualms lah. Every time I hear about mortgage loan, it's just going to be you, my man. So this is something that I feel. I think word of mouth is still the best, and of course, if you can do such a great job for me, I'm sure you can do it for the rest as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. If you are a business owner need more planning, please reach out to us. We will be more than happy to help you plan your journey in terms of your asset progressions, in terms of finance, and you can get your dream house. Once again, I'd like to thank Ken for coming by today to do this video testimonial for us. I also hope that we can start planning for your next asset progression as well. After this video shoot, we are going to talk about that, right?
Thanks for having me today. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you everyone.